Okay, so now you have your horizon line and your vanishing point. It's time to start practicing making some different shapes. We're going to start super simple with a square that's going to turn into some kind of rectangular form. So what I want you to do is somewhere over the horizon line, okay, that crosses above and below, I want you to make a rectangle or a square. Somewhere above the horizon line, I want you to make a square or rectangle, and somewhere below the horizon line, make that same square or rectangle. Now, mine are not perfect. For the purposes of this exercise, yours don't have to be either. If you'd like to make them more perfect, feel free to use your straight edge. So now I have a floating square, a square on the horizon line, and one firmly on the ground. Okay? Even if something was all the way sitting just on top of the horizon line, like this one all the way over here, this would still work. So we're going to do something called 1-point perspective. In 1-point perspective, there is, guess what? One vanishing point, okay? And when 1-point perspective, you always start with a box. You never start with you can start with any shape. But you always start with a shape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually connect both of these corners to my vanishing point. So I'm gonna line up the corner with my vanishing point, draw a line down, line up my corner with the vanishing point, draw a line up. Technically, you would also do that with these corners, but because we're making a three-dimensional shape, you could show that as dotted lines if you wanted to. We wouldn't actually really see them. Now this makes the shape look like it's zooming out of the horizon, and that's okay, especially if it's a really long shape or you're doing like a bird's eye view of something. But more often, we like to cut off part of the shape so it just looks like a cube. To do that, you're going to pick somewhere along this angled line and you're going to make a vertical line. This is really, really important. In 1-point perspective, vertical lines always stay vertical. Let me say it one more time. Vertical lines always stay vertical. For instance, if I was going to do the same thing over here, I don't make my vertical line angle like that. That is weird unless you're trying to make that shape. Then what I can do is actually take my eraser, erase all these other lines, can re-emphasize my shape, and now I have a correctly drawn in perspective three-dimensional box. Okay, that's on the line. We only connect the sides. Okay, if we draw a box that's below the horizon line, same thing. You're going to connect all the corners. And you're not going to connect this far bottom left corner because it would be hidden by the face of the box. Up here, I'm going to connect all my corners. Really, perspective can be a lot of fun once you get the hang of it. It can make things look much more realistic, plus it's really fun to kind of make these zooming shapes and things like that. So to make the box here, last time you created a vertical line to cut the box off here. For this box, I'm going to decide how long I want it to be, and I'm going to create a vertical line, not angled at all, completely vertical, up and down. That's the length of my box. Now to make it actually look like a box, I have to take this line and go straight across. I'm not using my flat edge so you can see what I'm doing, but you might want to use your straight edge. Okay, oops, broke my lid. So now you have a 3D box zooming from into the sky. I'm going to erase my extra lines, and here's my box. If it is above the horizon line, you're going to see the side, and bottom. Okay, from here you just see these two sides. When you have a box below the horizon line, you can make a vertical line somewhere, a horizontal line that connects. Erase my guidelines. And on this one, you're going to have two sides and a top. Just kind of let you know what you're going to see. That's the basics of 1-point perspective. Go try it.